Welcome back to the channel. Today I just wanted to talk to you about 5 things that you should know if you plan on wild camping in the Lake District this summer, especially if you're a beginner camper or you're just new to camping in the Lake District in general. But before we get started, click that like button and hit that subscribe button if you like to see hiking and wild camping videos just like this one. Let's jump into it. So the first thing that you should know about wild camping in the Lake District is that wild camping is only a permitted activity. So what does that mean for you? Well, that means you should realistically try to seek landowner permission before you camp anywhere in the Lake District. Obviously the Lake District is a massive area and that isn't always possible, but you should realistically at least try to seek landowner permission. I know a lot of people don't, but there is actually a bylaw in place that states that you should seek landowner permission to camp in the Lake District or risk facing a £50 fine. Now, in all my time wild camping in the Lake District, I've never known that to be used or issued. However, there are rangers that go around and patrol some of the low-lying fells, lakes and reservoirs that do ask to move people on if you are caught wild camping in an area that they do not want you to camp in. What does that mean for you then? That means you should just move on without any fuss and with respect, and you should probably just have a plan B of where you want to camp if you are going to camp somewhere. So the second thing that you should know is that wild camping by the lakes are not permitted at all. I know it looks idyllic and it's very tempting to wild camp by the lake shores, but it is not permitted, and they do actively have rangers patrolling these areas to move people on. And more recently, because of the illegal fly camping that has been happening, where people have been abandoning tents, leaving litter, leaving fire scars, etc., the council have issued a public space protection order against around some of the lakes, which means that they can issue fines of up to £1,000 if you are caught illegally fly camping in these areas. So where should you camp if you can't camp by the lakes? Well, the National Park Authority has some guidelines on this, and that is you should camp above 400 meters on the fells, or if the fell isn't high enough, over the last fell wall, and that just gets you out of anybody's immediate private property, any immediate farmland where you might cause any issues. So the third thing that you should know is that fires are not permitted at all in the Lake District. That means ground fires. They leave ugly scars and they have the potential to burn deep underground and cause wildfires like we've seen at the beginning of the year, and you are likely to get fined or moved on if you are causing fires or damage in this way. It's also just unsightly and people generally do not like them in the Lake District. And I know there's arguments for fires, but just do not do it at all. Just respect the land that you're on and do not light fires. So the fourth thing that you should know about wild camping in the Lake District is that you should follow the leave no trace principles. Well, what are leave no trace? Very simple. That everything that you pack in with you, you pack out, and you leave absolutely no trace that you have been there whatsoever. There are websites that you can go on that explain these principles in more details, but essentially you should leave that area looking better than the way that you found it. And that also includes banana skins, apple peels, food cores, anything that doesn't naturally belong there. And the fifth thing that you should know about wild camping in the Lake District is that you should only stay in one spot for one night only and then move on. And ideally what you should do is set up late and leave early so that you are discreet as possible and you don't cause a nuisance. How late or early you should leave, I tend to sort of base it around 1 hour before sunset and 1 hour after sunrise, and then that way you are less likely to be spotted by the crowds that are hiking in the fells. Thank you for watching the video. If you liked this video, please click that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.